All right, strength project. Now we're gonna move on to how to do a wall spin. Come with me over to the wall and we're gonna get started. Now, this is a little different takeoff from what we did with the backflips. You're not gonna actually be taking off on 1 foot, you're gonna be taking off on 2 feet. But you don't wanna run and just punch the ground because that actually absorbs more power to the ground than it gives you. What we're gonna do is called a step together. We're gonna step in on 1 foot, your right or your left, whatever feels most comfortable. Bend your knee, bring your other foot together, arm swing and jump together. That gives you a soft step in so you don't lose any power, but gives you kind of that bounce and jump out. Now you can go either right or left. I can do it both ways, but I like to spin left for this trick, so I'm gonna show you how to do it the left way. So once my legs are together, okay, I'm gonna step in. I also like to do an arm swing to gather some power. So I step in, my first foot, my arms are going up. My second step, they come together, and my arms are right here so I can swing down and jump, just like you would if you were jumping for a basketball hoop. So I'm gonna swing in. As I go here, this is the most important part, the takeoff. This is getting the power. A lot of people get worried and they try to get into their spin real quick. That's what's gonna mess you up. We wanna go up first, and as we jump up and leave the ground so we have all that height and time, then we're gonna start our spin. So as I swing through and I jump right here, I'm gonna take my left arm. I usually like to put it straight out from my hip. It's gonna plant on the wall. I don't want it up, I want it turned out and down. The further down I can get it, the more support I'll get, and also the easier it'll be to twist my body over my arm. My other arm here, which is spinning, will come here, throw across like a windshield wiper over the wall, and plant close to this hand. As this happens, I'm gonna jump and pop my butt up. What that is gonna do is gonna spin my body up and around the wall. Now it's very, very important when you do this. Most people, they get a little scared and they try to look at the ground or some object in order to give them just something to focus on. What happens though is if I pull my head this way, you can see my body is already turning into the wall. If I'm upside down and I pull my head that way, my knees are gonna clip the wall and then I'm gonna drop straight on my head. It's very important the entire time I do this trick, I'm gonna keep looking at the wall. If I'm looking straight at you, my body stays nice and straight. If I start looking down, you can see my body moves forward. If I look up, my head goes back, my chest goes back, and my hips go forward. We don't want any of that to happen, so it's very important I keep a center focus point right here on the wall. So as I come in, I'm gonna step together, my swing, I'm gonna jump, my hand plants. As I leave the ground, I'm gonna pop my hip right here. I'm gonna booty pop. If you don't know what that is, you can watch one of my tutorials on front flips or side flips. The side flip tutorial will be very helpful in this and showing you how to pop your hip. As I pop my hip and jump, my head comes down. Still looking at this wall, and my hips are gonna come up over the wall. Now another important thing to keep in mind is these hands gotta stay close together. This hand is the highest hand. My body will have to come up and over this arm to finish its rotation. If I have my arm super high up here, my hips gotta go up that high. It's much more difficult and I gotta jump a lot higher. So it's very important I post with this hand to hold my weight, and this hand to get me spinning comes in nice and close to allow my hips to come up over easy right here. I don't want it high up here where it's gonna be more difficult. As I finish, okay, this hand, as you can see my left hand still there on the wall, this hand will come off the wall. I'm gonna push myself and drop down to my landing right here. I will no longer be looking at the wall. You can look at the wall, you can look away from the wall and spin, but you wanna make sure you do that on the very end of it. So to give you an idea of what that all looks together, we're gonna go right here. I'm gonna go nice and slow so you can see it. So I come here, I step in, arm swing, jump, hands plant, spin myself around. Now you noticed that right hand was thrown over to get me spinning and to push me off the wall, but my left hand, my posting hand, to keep myself away from the wall so I don't slam into it, and also to hold my weight, never comes off the wall. That is my support. That's what keeps me safe from the wall. If I bend that arm too much, I come into the wall. If I shove off too early, I go flying away from the wall. So watch my left hand again. It comes in and supports. This one just goes to spin and immediately comes back up off the wall. I come in, support, push, drop, and there I am looking at you.